Hello, and welcome to another episode of DaVinci Resolve for beginners. And in this video, we're going to see the topic source monitor. Now, in this topic, we will be trying to understand what is the importance of the source monitor while we are trying to create and edit a new project. So, without wasting much time, let us go into the DaVinci Resolve software and start understanding what source monitor is and how it can help us while are doing project. Now, as you can see, I have already launched the software of DaVinci Resolve. Now we are going to see what source monitor actually is. Now, this is known as the source monitor. Okay, this is where we are going to start seeing any clip or video which we want to select on our timeline. So before we start grabbing anything or dragging anything into our timeline, we can use the source monitor option to use and cut various things or audios out of the project we want to create. For example, if we go to the cut option, here you can see there is the source monitor of the cut option. Now, this page is basically used for basic cutting. For example, if I want to use this particular video or clip, I can do basic cutting. For example, I can take out 5 minutes from a 2-hour video. Now, let us see how we can start clipping our videos. Now, to begin with, as we all know, the start and the space button is the default start and stop for almost every application or software that we use. Now, as we start dragging this mouse across, you can see the 12, 13, 14, these are all the frames of the video. Now, going ahead, if I want to select only this particular section, maybe I want to select somewhere around 5 to 10 seconds. So what I can do is I can hold the end pointer and I can bring it across and I can select this particular clip for my video. Now, you can also see this is the drag position handle, or this is known as the playhead. Now you can use this to grab and move the video clip that you want to use. Now, as I had cut out this piece from the rest of the video, now I can do is I can simply grab here and I can drop it in the timeline. Now, as you can see, after dropping it on the timeline, there are two timelines present in this timeline option. For example, you can see the top timeline and the bottom timeline. What the top timeline does is it can show all the total timeline or the total duration of your project at once. For example, if you can see, I can scroll the second timeline and it takes me a long time to scroll through the whole timeline, right? Now I can use this particular playhead on the top timeline and I can select where I can precisely and where I want to precisely go in my project. Now, if I add another video, for example, I want to add this particular video. Now I have, after selecting it, you can see there is the preview of the video in the source monitor. Now I want to start cutting it. Now to start cutting it, I want to bring the first insert line somewhere around here and I want to bring the output line somewhere around here. So what I can do is, instead of dragging it here, I can simply click on O and you can see the output frame has been brought here. Now, after I have selected the amount of clip I want to add, I can simply click here and I can drop it on the timeline. Now you can see the first or the top timeline has increased its length of the video which I just selected. Now if we go ahead in the edit option, you can see both the clips are bought here in the main edit timeline. Now these two timelines which you can see here in the timeline option, sorry, these two videos which actually you can see the timeline option, these two videos are the ones which I had edited earlier or cut out earlier in the cutout option. Now as soon as I clicked on the edit option or the edit menu, those both clips which I edited before and cut according to my own choice is now in the timeline where I can start editing it, right? Now as I have told earlier, as soon as you bring any clip on the timeline, there will be a new media created as timeline 1. As I've also said earlier that there could be many timeline in one project, but there cannot be more than one project in one timeline. Going ahead, let us try to understand some of the buttons that are present in the source monitor option. Here you can see at the very left we have the go to first frame. So as I click on it, you will see that the preview or the source monitor video has taken itself to the very first frame of the video. Now moving ahead, we have the play reverse button. Now to show you what the play reverse button does, I can bring the play cursor at the very last frame. Now as I click on the play reverse, you can see the video will start playing in reverse. Okay, and you can use the spacebar button to pause it. The next one we have is the stop button. As we all know, clicking the stop button will stop the video which is playing. Beside the stop button, we have the play button. After we click this play button, the video will start playing in the correct direction which it has to play. Now after we have the last frame option. As you can see, as I'm hovering my mouse over it, it shows go to last frame. And you can use this to simply click on it and the video playing cursor will be taken to the last frame. Now to the last option, we have the continuous playing loop option. As we click on it, the video will start and it will be playing in a loop. As you can see, even after we reach the end of this video, it will keep on playing again as we have set the loop video option. As we deselect it and click on stop button, you can see the video has stopped playing itself. Once again, if we move to the left here, we can see the preview option of the source monitor. Once again, if I show you by clicking the offline option, you can see the source monitor has gone offline and you cannot see anymore anything in the source monitor. Now, for example, I want to show you the different preview options which you can use with the help of this preview button. For example, this audio or this video has an audio in it. So as I play on it, you can see it is playing an audio in the background. So now what I can do is I can simply see only the audio track by using this option, and as I click on audio track, you can see the audio track which is present in that particular video has appeared here. Now there are these two buttons. Before going any further, I would like to tell you what this button actually does. Now for a video, as for this video, we have both the video part of this and we also have an audio track of this video. Now supposingly you only want to bring the audio of a particular clip only in the timeline. So what you can do is you can click on the audio graph which you can see here, and you can use this to simply hold and drag the audio and place it in the timeline. There you see I have brought the audio from this particular clip to the timeline. Now if I want to bring the video file of this clip to the timeline, I can use this particular logo to hold it and drag my video on the timeline. Now, as I do not want this audio in the timeline anymore, I can click it and I can press the delete button to delete the audio from the timeline which I just bought. Now, moving further ahead, we want to see some more tools that we have present in the preview or the source monitor. For example, this particular option is known as the match frame. Now, to show you what match frame is, as you can see, this particular video is already showing in the final preview page. Now I want to create, or I want to find out, for example, this particular frame in the final output page. So what I can do is I can click on the match frame button, and as soon as I click here, it will start finding out where exactly this particular frame is, and it will try to match the frame accordingly. And you can also use this button to find the exact frame on the timeline also. Moving further ahead to the right, you can see the mark in and mark out option. Now, as I had shown you previously in the cut option, how you can drag this to the mark in and mark out option. Now, if you want to mark in and create a different mark out option in the final edit part, you can do it here also. For example, let me show you. Now, this is the mark out option for this particular video. Now I want to add some more time to this particular video. So what I can do is I can drag this play option, and as I bring it past the previous cutout option, now I can add this little bit to the new cut by simply clicking this button which says mark out. Now, as I've clicked on the mark out button, you can see that the selected clip and the duration of the clip has increased. And also there is the shortcut to do it very easily, which is the button I and O. Now, if you want to show you once again how to use the mark in button, I want to change the mark in of this video. So this is where I want the video to start. So I can hold on to this dot and I can place it, and this will be my mark in of this particular video on the timeline. Now, if I want to make another mark in option with the use of the shortcut button, what I can do is I can click this video player cursor and I can bring it to the spot where I want to add my mark in mark. And as I click on I, you can see that a new mark in option has been added, and this is the place I just used the shortcut I button to bring the mark in cursor. Now, after I have selected the amount of clip I want to be adding in the final cut, what I can do is I can show you how to drag it here. For example, first of all, I want to delete these two clips from the timeline, and what I can do is I can simply drag this file in the timeline, and you can see that the edited selected cut clip is now pasted in the timeline, and this is where you can start editing the clip which you just bought here. Now, there are some options which are related to the source monitor. For example, you can see there is the insert clip option, there is the overwrite clip option, and there is also the replace clip option. Now, for example, if I have another video in the timeline, for example, I want to use this video. As I double clicked on it, it will be coming on the preview page. Now after it has appeared on the source monitor of the preview page, I can use my mouse to hold it and drag it here. Now instead of dragging and dropping the file, what you can do is, after you have selected this file to be added onto your timeline, you can use this insert clip. As soon as I click the insert clip button, you can see the clip has been inserted in the timeline. Now about inserting something in the timeline. As you can see, this is the playhead, and anything you want to add in the timeline will be added before the playhead. For example, if I want to add this timeline after the video which is present here after the playhead, what I can do is I can take this playhead after the video, and if I once again click on the insert clip button, you can see that the same clip has been added once again after this particular video. Now as I do not want this clip to be in the timeline before the video, so I'm going to hit the delete button and it will be deleted from the timeline. Now you can also use the playhead to replace or overwrite a clip. Now I want to overwrite something here. In this clip I want to overwrite another clip. So what I can do is I can bring the playhead before this clip, and what I can do is I can select another clip, and as it opens up in the source monitor, what I can do is I can click on the replace clip option, and as soon as I click on it, you can see the new video which I just chose has been replaced. Now in the replace or overwrite option, any video you add will be placed in between. For example, I added and overwrote this particular clip, so it has been overwrote between the pixels video and the video 1080. So after I click the overwrite button, the video 10801 has been overwritten in the middle. Now if you want to replace an particular clip, what you can do is I want to replace this clip. Now I select another clip to replace it. For example, I can choose this video with the trees. As I click on it, you can see this is the video, and now I can click on replace clip, and you can see the first clip will be replaced, and I have added the particular video which I wanted to replace. Now you can use the playhead to insert a clip in the position where you want to play it. For example, you can use the playhead somewhere around here, and as soon as you replace and insert this clip, this will be inserted right here where you had the playhead, and the entire duration of the video will increase because it hasn't replaced any portion of the previous video which was present. Only what it has done is it has made a cut and placed the video and inserted the video which I wanted to insert. Now I hope we tried to understand a little bit about how the source monitor works. After we have understood the working of the source monitor, we are going to start editing videos from the beginning, little by little, as a beginner. So leaving that to another episode, I hope you have learned something new from this particular episode, and I would like to thank you for watching this video.